Okay, everybody, here we go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Why am I in a good mood? I have no idea. Well, because I'm with all of you, and I enjoy this. I really, really do. So, post market wrap up. Are you ready on this Friday? Yes, Friday. I said Thursday this morning. Look, I was only on. Actually, I hadn't even finished my first cup of coffee. It was sitting right over here. And it takes a little caffeine to get my brain engaged just a little bit. So, yes, it's Friday, December 16th, 2022, and I'm in kind of a giddy mood today. I don't know why, I just am. Here's a story. So we had another down day here in the market, about 1% losses respectively across the board. Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500, NASDAQ, whatever. What am I looking at? I am not staring at the stock market. No, I'm watching its drivers. And as far as I'm concerned, the drivers, plural, of this market aren't telling us a damn thing is really wrong right now. This is fear. Did turn out to be a pan sell-off, meaning pan, everything selling off here this morning, although gold and silver did recover. The relative dollar strength, although did finish higher, did finish off of the lows here. Bitcoin, crypto's getting hit. Crude oil falling about 2.34%. Okay, lovely, fantastic. That's where we're at. And there's so many people panicking about this couple days of the market dropping. Oh, it's over. It's the end. Okay, I've been hearing this for a very, very long time. It just doesn't seem to be happening. It's going to. But the meltdown, the big meltdown, as you all know if you follow this blog, is not going to start in the stock market. The meltdown of all meltdowns is going to occur. But the meltdown of all meltdowns, and it's going to eclipse anything that has ever come before it, is going to begin in the ticking time bomb of the debt market, and I would also say the derivatives market as well, which, it's so grossly out of hand. Everything is so grossly out of hand. How about this? We heard from our illustrious imbecile president. He was like this. He really does look like that to me. But, a stopgap government measure so we can fund ourselves. Yet again, look, it's laughable. The greatest nation in the world, really? We can't even get a budget going. Why? Because we can't restrain ourselves from spending or borrowing cash from the real government, which is the Federal Reserve in this case. Central banks are the government of the world. It's unbelievable to me. How did we let this occur? Honestly, how about this? We heard from Fed President Mary Daly today. This is a freak of the highest order, and I think you're all well aware of that. This is what she said. Now listen to this. For inflation to drop, more people need to lose their jobs. How about she loses her job first? Okay? I don't understand how this is allowed. We have central banks around the world who are deliberately going out of their way to crush the economy and crush demand by increasing rates. Meanwhile, the lie has been by doing so, it's going to stop inflation. I'm still waiting, okay? It was transitory, it was temporary, whatever lie they wanted to start off with here, it's still rising around the world. But in order, her words, for more people need to lose their jobs here. Merry Christmas. Look, this whole thing is the biggest farce that has ever been sold to the people in the history of the world. There's been a lot of them, but this is right up there, people. We know what the Fed can do, all central banks can do to, boom, stop inflation in its tracks. That is contract the money supply. But have you heard about that? With a show of hands, because I can see you, okay? How many of you have heard it one time, how central banks can contract the money supply, and that, in fact, would be the key way, the right way, to stop inflation in its tracks? You haven't heard it once, have you? Not one of you have heard that from the mainstream financial channels. I've been covering this to the point of nauseum because I'm hoping it's going to catch on, but it doesn't seem to be. And of course, do you think people like, let's say, Jim Cramer or one of these other things that they parade out regularly on any of the mainstream channels are going to tell you, the people that. Imagine for a nanosecond, I love that, if people were allowed to know the truth, that by central banks raising rates, it's not even meant at all, zero, to stop inflation. All it does do is kill demand, slow the economy, and out of her own mouth, we have to, people need to lose their jobs in order for us to slow down inflation here. And how about the other one? Oh, I can't stop myself. I'm going to do it. The ghoul came out today. The ghoul. It was out. It was out. And it said this. She sees no slowing with regard to inflation in the service sector. Oh, that hurts my face when I do that. But I can't stop. I have to do that. I told you I'm not normal. Anyway, so that lie is still being perpetuated, and it won't stop. You'll never hear a talking head on one. You will never hear that, and that's astonishing to me. Well, not really. We know what the job is of the propaganda ministry. Look here. Look there. Don't look over here. They make it seem like there's no other option. You see, that it's never like that. There's never only one solution to a problem here. There's often a lot of workarounds. And right from the get-go, this was pushed on the people of the world, that raising rates somehow was going to miraculously stop inflation. They set the groundwork right from day one with that. Not a peep, not a syllable, nothing about contracting the money supply. Why? Because you know what the goal is here. What is the end game? What is central banks going to continue to do? What is Gregory Mannarino going to tell you? To continue to freaking inflate and then inflate someone. I don't give a damn if you're looking at the Fed's balance sheet and you see it contracting. It's shrinking. Yeah, no, it ain't shrinking. How about all the off-balance sheet stuff? How about the billions and hundreds of billions of dollars that we keep sending over to Ukraine with cash and weaponry and everything else? Where's that cash come from? We don't have it. We can't even have a budget in this country, but they can borrow that through the back door. They can suck it right out of the anus of the freaking Federal Reserve with a straw. That's what they're doing, and it's being put on your back. You and me and everybody else. Imagine that. But that's where we're going, people. It's just so sick to me. It's so twisted. It's so out of control. Seriously. Anyway, so look, all that's going on here is what you and I knew was going to happen from a very, 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 very long time ago. Central banks were going to continue their chokehold on the people of the world, and that's all they're doing. But there is no outcry. There's only people like you and me who are trying desperately to raise awareness. It's what I'm trying to do. I want people to understand what's going on, but I want them to take action. I want people to talk about these things. I don't know, start your own blog. I'll help you promote it. Oh, speaking of that, Chuck Barone, your friend and mine, he has not done a video blog in a couple of days. And do you know why? The poor guy's sick right now. So those of you who believe in a higher power, he's not going to die or anything, but he's kind of sick. So we could always use a prayer here or there, if you believe in that. I believe in that kind of stuff. I believe in the power of prayer. Absolutely. It does work. You can have your own opinion, but in my life's experience, it works. So let's throw a prayer out there for Chuck Barone. He's going to be okay. Anyway, what was I saying here? The wheels that have been put in motion, unfortunately, no matter how many of us become aware of it, they can't be stopped. But maybe if we could slow it down. I mean, it's just so sick. When you can have, I want you to really think about this. When you can have a Federal Reserve president come out and making a statement like this, it bothers me to the core of my being. For inflation to drop, more people need to lose their jobs. Let's start off with the Federal Reserve presidents. How about every single one of them loses their high-paying job? They're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, okay? And laughing their way to the bank as they pull off every manner that you can dream about of insider trading. Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, you can resign and keep all your ill-gotten gains. You're not going to go to jail and take it straight up the wazoo with the gabagool and everything else. No, that's not going to happen to you because you're an untouchable, invincible Fed president. But the rest of us, I got in trouble just on this blog for just telling people what I believe they should maybe be putting their money to work here. I got in trouble for that 2 times. That's why I don't do that anymore. I tell you what I'm doing. And yes, I am still buying. I bought more JEPI today, almost at the market low. Look, this is going to pay me every single month, regardless of where the stock goes. And I like having that kind of cash flow with exposure to the long end of this market because I don't see a damn thing wrong with what's happening here in the global debt market right now, where central banks continue to buy it all. MMRI, stable. Dollar, relatively stable. 10-year yield, didn't do too much. So that's where I'm keeping my eyes here. And look, these are not short. When I'm telling people they should get in here and look to maybe put some cash to work in this market, buying the dips, that doesn't mean I'm expecting the market to rebound tomorrow or even next week. If you're in this market as an investment, let's say something like JEPI, and you want to collect that monthly dividend here, it's a long game until we get that meltdown in the debt market. It's very simple. I keep this so easy and so simple. Look, I guess I'm a pretty simple-minded guy. I've been telling you to do what? Bet against the debt. Become your own central bank since day one. Understanding global debt is going to balloon beyond anyone's wildest dreams. We haven't seen anything yet. And this is all leading up to a climax. You know that. An implosion in this freak show that doesn't actually really exist. And then a new system's going to come in. I mean, that's how it's going to play out. Period. It's pretty simple in my view. Anyway, so what do you think about all the stopgap measures to fund the government? Because we can't have a budget. But you see, imagine just for a second. Let's say if President Mummy Man, because he looks like the Mummy and Frankenstein and some kind of freak to me, if you were to say, hey, people, listen, imagine if Trump would have done this, or anyone, pick a president, okay, go back to Obama and before that, whatever. If they say, listen, we can't have a budget. And the reason why we can't have a budget is because we need to allow the central bank to continue to inflate. Imagine if one of them had the guts to say that, because that's really the truth. We cannot have a budget because debt must be pulled into the now in greater and greater amounts every single day. Without doing that, the Ponzi ends. The Ponzi ends. And everything's going to get real. And I mean real. All right, people, with that said, and remembering that this is Friday, not Thursday. Greg, Yeah. I told you. I had a couple of cups of coffee today. I need to rev me up. Anyway, so it is Friday. What are you and I going to do right now? What are we going to do? We're going to bring it in. Bring it in. All right. I love this part. This is my favorite part. And if we could all adopt what we're about to do, we're all going to be better off. Ready? Love each other. Care about each other. And be charitable. People, you will see this guy Sunday for my markets to look ahead. It's going to be just as lovely as this. At least I hope so. And I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to be fun and games. What do you think? Please share the video. I will see all of you later. And I'm just out of here.